everyone. Welcome to today's lesson. And today's lesson focuses on subject-verb agreement using the singular and plural form of nouns. So let's have a quick review again. First off, what is a singular and what is a plural noun? When we say singular noun, this refers to only one noun. Plural noun, on the other hand, refers to two or more nouns. Last time, we have discussed about the singular and plural noun basic rules 1 to 6. We have learned that most nouns end with S. So for example, bag to bags. We have also learned that most nouns ending in S, SH, CH, X, and Z, we should add ES at the end. So we have watch to watches. Some nouns ending in Y, preceded by a vowel, should add S. But if the noun ending in Y is preceded by a consonant, don't forget to change Y to I and add ES. We have also learned about nouns ending in F or FE, and most commonly, those words ending in F and FE changes to VES. However, there are some nouns that ends with F or FE that just add S. Example, belief or beliefs, roof to roofs, chief to chiefs. Still, there are some nouns ending in F or FE, which we call miscellaneous nouns, that we could use S or change to VES, like dwarf to dwarfs or dwarfs. Lastly, we have also learned about nouns ending in O. So if a noun is preceded by a vowel, then O, just simply add S. Example, igloo to igloos. However, if it's consonant plus O, add ES. Example, hero to heroes, potato to potatoes. For musical terms such as soprano, alto, we can just add S, making it sopranos or altos. Lastly, there are some miscellaneous nouns that are formed by adding S or ES. Like for example, mango, you can say mango S or mango and ES. Once again, these are our singular and plural noun basic rules 1 to 6. However, there are times that we can just not add only S or ES, VES, or the O rules. There are still nouns that are changing in spelling, and that is what we call an irregular noun. And when we say irregular nouns, some nouns change in spelling and some nouns do not change their spelling. Some nouns that change in spelling are the following. We have child to children, man to men, woman to women, goose to geese, tooth to teeth, foot to feet, die to dice, person to persons or peoples, ox to oxen, louse to lice. Still, there are irregular nouns that do not change their spelling. These are examples of nouns that do not change their spelling. Sheep, trout, shellfish, squid, clothing, scenery, cod, salmon, aircraft, shrimp, tuna, goldfish, music, deer, swine, police, series, wood, moose, public, cattle, fish, reindeer, staff, bison, species, and offspring. Always remember that even though you are talking about one sheep or 100 sheep, do not put S if it's 100. Whether you are using it in singular or plural, these nouns do not change their spelling. All you need to do is to put a counter on the beginning. So for example, you say one sheep or you say two sheep. Putting two before the sheep would mean that it is already in plural form. So let us try this activity. All you need to do is to put the following words in its irregular plural form. Let's begin. What is the plural form of the word child? What is the plural form of the word child? The correct example or the word is children. Next, how about the next one? What is the plural form of the word tuna? The correct word is tuna. So, tuna is also one of the irregular verbs or irregular nouns that do not change their spelling. Let's begin. What is the plural form of the noun offspring? The correct answer is offspring. Number 2. What is the plural form of the word woman? The correct answer is women. Next, number 3. Police. What is the plural of police? The correct answer is police. Number 4. What is the plural of die? The correct answer is dies. Number 5. Clothing. What is the plural of the word clothing? The correct answer is still clothing. Were you able to get all the 5 items correctly? If you do, very good. It means you are more familiar with the irregular plural nouns. With that being said, we are now going to use our prior knowledge with the subjects and the nouns that are used for the subject. Today, we will be focusing on the subject-verb agreement. The first rule that we're going to use for our subject-verb agreement is using the singular and the plural nouns of both the regular and the irregular nouns. How do we use it in sentence? Number 1, if your subject is singular, you must take your verb with S, or you must use is, was, or has. Example, the butterfly flies in the garden. Since our subject is butterfly and it is singular, take the verb with S. So the answer should be flies. Next, number 2, the paintbrush are dirty. Here, our subject is paintbrush, and this is a singular subject. Therefore, we are going to use is. Next, number 3, the child were sad. Since the child was a singular subject, use the verb was. On the other hand, if the subject is plural, or it says more than one, then you must take the verb without S or use are, were, and have. Examples of the sentences, the butterflies fly or flies in the garden. Since the butterfly is already a plural subject, take note, use the verb without S. Therefore, your answer is fly. These paintbrush are dirty. So since paintbrush here is a singular noun, but I believe this should be a plural noun, then you must use the word are, because the plural of paintbrush is paintbrushes. Next, the children were sad. Here, our subject is children, therefore our verb is were. Let's try to use this one in exercises. My tooth is or are aching. What is the correct verb in this sentence? The correct answer is because tooth is singular. Next, churches were closed since the pandemic started. The correct verb for this one is were, because churches is plural. Now, let's try another one. 3 drowning sheep were rescued from the water. The correct answer here should be were, because we are using sheep and there is a counter 3. That is why we know that sheep is already in its plural form. Number 2, the singers on the noontime program are nervous. The correct answer is are. Why? Because our subject is singers and this is a plural noun. Next, number 3. The cities in the Northern California have been affected by the rain. The correct answer is have, because our subject is the word cities. Next, number 4. These mangoes have a very sweet taste. In this sentence, our verb should be have because our subject is mangoes, which is plural. Number 5. The police handcuff were broken. The correct answer is was because our subject is handcuff. Were you able to get all the 5 items correctly? If yes, very good. Now, let us try to work on some activities using the first 2 rules that we have studied. Remember, if your subject is singular, verb with S. If your subject is plural, verb without S. Let us try and work on this activity. Good luck! And there you have it. Now let's put on the correct answers for the following activity. Number 1, the noisy students have because students is plural. Number 2, irritates because baby is singular. Next, number 3, the problem was because problem is singular. Next, number 4, coral reefs help because of reefs is plural. My aunt has, aunt is singular. Netflix provides because Netflix is singular. That man is because man is singular. Those children were because children are plural. James asks with S because James is singular. And our vacation lasts with S because vacation is singular. Were you able to get all the items correctly? If yes, very good. I believe that you were able to understand our first part of this lesson. Now, let us continue our discussion using the subject-verb agreement with a compound nouns. What do we mean with compound nouns or compound subjects? First off, we can say that it is compound subject when 2 subjects are connected with a coordinated conjunction and. And if we are using compound subjects, we must always use verb without S or are, were, and have. Example, mother and father goes to the store. So as we can see, there are 2 nouns in the sentence. We have mother and father. This goes to tell us that the subject is plural. Therefore, our verb should be go. Let's have another example. The boy and the girl likes to play Tower of Hell. In this sentence, we understand that the boy and the girl are different persons, giving us 2 subjects. And if that's the case, as the rule suggests, we must use verb without S or are, were, and have. In this sentence, we must use like. But there are cases wherein there are compound subjects that we still use and. However, is preceded by each, every, any, a, or no. Now, whenever you have each, every, any, a, or no, this means it is only one. Because in Tagalog of each and every, it means bawat isa. So, from the word bawat isa, it means only one. Hence, this requires verb with S, or you may use is, was, or has. Example, each boy and girl expects gift this Christmas. So, if you're going to put this one in Tagalog, bawat isang lalaki bawat isang babae, giving us what we call only one. That is the reason why our verb should be expects. Another example, every teacher and student is or excited for the field trip. Given this, just like the each, every means bawat isa. So therefore, our verb should be is. See? Again, when we have the first rule, compound subject without these words, the verb should be without s. But if your compound subject is preceded by each, every, any, a, or no, remember to put s, use is, was, or has. Let's try some example. Ted and Jess spends a lot of money. In this sentence, the correct answer should be spend. Why? Because we are using a compound subject, Ted and Jess. Ted and Jess are different persons. This means these are singular nouns, or plural subjects. Therefore, we use spend. Next, each female and male contestant is required to submit a 5-minute audition sample video. The correct answer here should be is. Again, because we have each prior to the end. So therefore, this is only one. Number 1. Giovanni and Maria have a small apartment and 3 dogs. The correct answer should be have. We have a compound subject. 2. Each of the students and the teachers were given a learning kit. The correct answer should be was. Why? Because of the word each. Each means only one. Number 3. My brother and my sister lives in a big house. The correct answer is live because brother and sister are plural nouns or plural subjects. Number 4. Every girl and boy dreams to be a doctor. The correct answer here should be dreams. Why? Because every means only one. Lastly, number 5. Nan and Joe were married for 6 years. The correct answer for number 5 is where, because Nan and Joe tells us a compound subject. Were you able to get all the 5 items correctly? If yes, very good. You then know how to differentiate between a compound subject with and a compound subject with and but preceded by each, every, any, a, or no. With that being said, let us put this into practice. Encircle the correct form of the verb to complete the sentence. Please be guided by the rules that we have mentioned earlier. If you are ready, let's get started with this activity. And now, let us put on the answers to this activity. Number 1, our school guard comes because guard is singular. Bananas and oranges should be are because it's a compound subject. My brother always carries. Carries because our subject is brother. Fourth, the president and his cabinet members attend. Why? Because president and cabinet members are different entities, giving us a compound subject. 5. Rick's father buys a surprise gift for him. The subject is father, so therefore our verb should be buys. 6. USA and China have. Why? Because USA and China are plural subjects. 7. Each students and teacher. Each is singular, therefore use creates. Each doctor and nurse, treat or treats. The answer should be treats because we have each as our signifying verb. 9th, the school buses leave. We use leave because our subject is buses. And lastly, number 10, the geese and the ducks play on the mud. The correct answer should be play. Were you able to get all the correct answers? If yes, that means you were able to understand our lesson for today. With that, let us summarize this lesson. Today, we have brushed up with our knowledge about the irregular nouns that change spelling. We have reviewed about the child to children, man, men, woman, women, goose, geese, tooth, teeth, foot, feet, die, dice, person, persons to peoples, ox, oxen, louse, and lies. We have also reviewed about irregular nouns that does not change spelling. We have sheep, trout, shellfish, squid, clothing, scenery, cod, salmon, aircraft, shrimp, tuna, goldfish, music, deer, swine, police, series, wood, moose, public, cattle, fish, reindeer, staff, bison, species, and offspring. And today's focus is all about the subject-verb agreement. Under our first basic rule, when the subject is singular, take the verb with S, is, has, or was. When the subject is plural, take the base verb, no S, are, were, and have. On the other hand, basic rules 3 and 4, if your compound subject is joined by N, take the base verb, no S, are, were, or have. But compound subjects with N but is preceded by each, every, any, a, no, take the verb with S, is, was, or has. Thank you very much for listening to today's discussion. I hope that you have understand that subject and verb should always agree with each other. I'll see you again on our next discussion. Goodbye, everyone.